have some changes coming as we head into the end of the week here, and it is going to bring in some serious fall chill. We have a cold front, a second front that's going to come through today and draw down some colder air. We get the winds today, the cold afternoon tomorrow, and then a frosty and freezing start on Saturday. As we head into next week, we do actually rebound back into the 70s above normal, and there are some signs of a little bit of an active pattern developing, which would be great. We do right now just have some clouds passing through in the north, and our cold front still located just to our north, and that is going to be bringing in the strong winds and the colder air. And ahead of it could be a couple of sprinkles, and you'll notice some clouds as well, and perhaps you've noticed the fog too. We do have the sun starting to come on up here, and you can just see this layer just kind of hanging out right above the treetop. So not necessarily affecting visibility too much down at the surface here in Cedar Rapids, but certainly has dropped a bit there, and there could be some other spots and some more wide open spaces where we do have some dense fog. So just give yourself some extra time this morning, as we've kind of seen it expand a little bit, and we have some lowered visibility in Tama, Benton, Lynn, into areas south of Highway 30, and then along Highway 20 in portions of Buchanan and Fayette and Clayton counties. There's been some fog out there this morning, and we've seen it around Dubuque along the river as well. So just slow it down if you do run into the fog. It's starting off a little chilly out there this morning with temperatures in the 40s. This is just the beginning though, because as we get into the afternoon and we get into the 60s, which is pretty seasonal, not too bad, we're going to be feeling the chill as the winds pick up. Temperatures drop this evening, and we'll then tumble down into the 30s by tomorrow morning. But it is this cold front that's going to come through that'll increase the winds, and we will have gusts up around 20 to maybe 30 miles per hour at times today, making those 60s feel even colder. So cold front comes through, maybe some sprinkles with it, going to have the clouds, winds pick up. That's because we have low pressure attached to the front, and then high pressure starting to move in, a pretty strong high pressure system from Canada once again, and that's going to lead to the breezy conditions today. High pressure then settles in, leads to a cold afternoon tomorrow, and then with clear skies, light winds, some of this moisture in place from the recent little bit of rain we got, and those cold temperatures going to lead to frost forming by Saturday morning. Temperatures are going to be dropping down into the upper 20s to low 30s, leading to widespread freezing temperatures as well as widespread frosty conditions. Temperatures do go down for tomorrow and Saturday below normal in the 50s to around 60 degrees. We do take it back up as we head into next week, into the 60s and 70s, and we do also have a sign of a bit more of an active pattern during that stretch as well next week, where we could have some chances for rain, which would be beneficial and hopefully proves a little bit more fruitful than what we got yesterday. But we do have the 60s on the board for today and windy conditions. Tomorrow, high temperatures in the 50s, lows drop down below freezing, frost Saturday morning. We're around 60 for Saturday, and then on Sunday we'll be closer to 70. We warm up as we head into next week with some chances for rain on Tuesday and Wednesday. And we at least had some pretty tame conditions across a lot of Iowa. If you're just traveling around the state on Christmas Day, we do have, though, some changes now coming. As over the last 7 days, we had an average high temperature around 48 degrees, running about 15 degrees above normal as a whole. And while the next 7 days is still going to be above normal, it is a difference of around 10 degrees, and it is going to be cooler, and you're going to notice it after we've been hanging out in a lot of 40s and 50s lately. We are going to be about 5 to 10 degrees above normal each day, but trending cooler, and that is going to be the case as we carry on into the new year as well. Temperatures this morning are down by 15 to 20 degrees, and that's quite the difference from yesterday, waking up Christmas morning to 50 degrees and rain, and now we're sitting around the freezing mark. 32 in Cedar Rapids, 32 in Decorah, 33 in Dubuque, 34 Iowa City and Washington, and we do have clouds that are in overhead. This big low pressure system swirling around, and so that is leading to the cloud cover and now the cooler weather, but it originally had brought the rain and the warmth, and now as it pushes through the area, we are going to see some potentially wintry precipitation here and there. Today, it's going to be cloudy, maybe some flurries come out of those clouds. Temperatures are going to be hanging in the mid 30s, so not really moving much, and much cooler than yesterday. We are going to have the wind still out of the south, though, for quite a bit. and could have some flurries that pass on by. There's a chance that we see some snow showers that are a little bit more organized in southern Iowa overnight into Wednesday morning, and there could be some travel impacts down that way. And so that's something to keep in mind if you are traveling, but especially south of I-80. And then on Thursday, on the backside of the system, we could see a little bit of a wintry mix rotate in, but there's still a question on what type of precipitation we see out of that or how much really comes out of it. But if you're traveling to the west, you have family traveling to the west or having family travel back to Iowa to the east, there's some snow that still could cause some headaches out in the Dakotas and portions of Nebraska and even Kansas. And we are going to have some of that snow, as I mentioned, down to our south tonight into tomorrow morning. And then as we head into Thursday on the backside, we could see a little bit of that wintry mix. Maybe it ends up as just rain, or it ends up as just snow. So something we're still keeping an eye on there. What's going on though currently is this storm system's drawing down some cooler air with it. High pressure moves back in briefly toward the end of the week to pull up our temperatures, but then another little system comes on down and leads to some cooler weather that's going to stay with us as we head into the new year. And we're going to continue to see a few little systems that keep the temperatures down. So we're going to be in the 30s for the next 2 days, closer to 40 Thursday, Friday. The sun comes back out and then some cooler air does start to move in as we have these little systems passing by, keeping temperatures in the 30s and a lot closer to normal as we head into the new year. Right now we are starting to feel and see winter a little bit more after we've had quite the stretch of some mild weather. Now over the last 10 days we have had some ups, some downs, some 30s, but a lot of 40s and a lot of 50s, especially considering it was Christmas time and we got to 58 degrees on Christmas Eve and tied the record for the day and then had the third warmest Christmas on record. We are down in the 30s now. We got into the 30s yesterday and stayed there, but we have been running 10 degrees above normal as a whole, and we've had 21 afternoons that have been above normal. So it's time that eventually the wintry stuff shows up, and it's been coming now in the form of some slightly cooler weather, but also some flakes that have been flying. Saw some yesterday, and now this morning have some widespread snow has been going on in south central Iowa, and then there's some more snow starting to come up and approaching Highway 30 here, and we could see a few hours of some light snow showers or some flurries. Right now the snow has been coating some streets out in south central Iowa, and where it's been a bit more persistent, that's where it's led to some slick streets. While eastern Iowa is looking clear right now, I wouldn't be surprised if areas near and south of Highway 30 do start to see a few slick spots on those overpasses, the on and off ramps, and any bridges and such, anything that's elevated. And we could see some minor accumulation in some grassy areas today, with another chance tomorrow. Right now, we are starting off in some low to mid 30s, still sufficient enough for snow, but may help prevent it from really sticking to the pavement right away. We are going to have clouds through the day and temperatures in the low to mid 30s. We really aren't going to move all that much. We'll have these snow showers around as we head through the first half of the day. Could be a little bit of a wintry mix if it does linger long enough. Then it's just clouds through the day and into the night. We'll then have another batch of precipitation that moves in tomorrow and could start off in the form of snow and then perhaps a little bit of a wintry mix. Predictors showing all snow all day long. And there's still a question on if it does stay snow or if we do see a bit of a wintry mix at times. But if this does happen, that could lead to some slick roads certainly, and we could see quite a bit of accumulation, especially in grassy areas and elevated spots as we head through the day tomorrow. So could be around an inch or two of accumulation that is possible here with lower amounts off to the north and west. And I do want to emphasize that most of this would be in grassy and elevated areas, but it's still possible that we could have some slick streets out of it. What's happening is the storm system that brought the rain, the warmth, is now bringing the cold air and some snow on the backside. So as it wraps around, it's leading to that chance for snow tomorrow. We're going to have a few more systems that do drop down that maybe could bring a little precipitation, but mostly we're going to see signs of some colder air coming in as we head into the new year and temperatures that are kept a lot closer to normal. So we are going to be in the mid 30s the next 2 days with some snow showers. We then get into the upper 30s and still running above normal for most of the next 7 days here, but we do start to get a little cooler and could potentially see a bit more of an active pattern as well as we head through the first week of the new year.